So after your book has been contracted, the title will be sent over to my team and you'll be assigned a project editor or title manager from our team. Usually that takes a few weeks, but you will hear from someone on our team fairly soon. The next stage, often after the book's been contracted, is that we'll send you out a kind of raft of materials to help you whilst you're writing. This will include a link to our online author handbook. I would say this is like the really key guide for whilst you're writing your book. Always refer back to the author handbook. It's really helpful, it's really handy. It deals with all kinds of things to do with the kind of style that you might want to use in writing, to do with permissions, to do with using artwork. It's also our kind of reference point for when we're checking your manuscript later on. You'll also be sent an author questionnaire. We use that to create the marketing profile for your book. So it's worth filling that in and taking a bit of time and thinking about that quite carefully, thinking about how the kind of key selling points of your book. You'll also be sent an abstracts and keywords form. Often authors tend to sort of leave this as a bit of an afterthought. Actually, I'd really encourage you to think about it early on, because a really large number of your readership is going to come via our online Oxford Academic platform. And the way that people will find your work there is through the keywords that you kind of assign to it. So a lot of authors like to think about the cover. The cover is really nice, and it's nice and sort of splashy, and it's the first thing you see when you receive the book. But actually, for like increasing your readership, spending a bit of time on those abstracts and keywords is really important. You'll also be sent a permissions log. That is really to help you keep track of any materials where you need to gain permissions for us to reproduce it in your book. That might include, for example, journal articles or book chapters that you've written where you want to reuse some materials from that. It might include text excerpts from works that are still under copyright, particularly anything like contemporary poetry or contemporary drama. Those kind of things, often not covered by fair use or fair dealing. So it will help you keep track of those. And then sort of most importantly, artwork. If you are looking to use artwork, it will help you keep track of the permissions that you need to gain to use the artwork. The other thing that you'll be sent at around about that time is a sort of helpful crib sheet and a guide that also links to the online author handbook, and that gives you a bit of information about the kinds of permissions that you need to seek for artwork. The other sort of, I would say, one of the key things that sort of lengthens the development life of a book is not having those permissions sorted when you submit the manuscript. So if I could emphasize one thing, I would say getting those permissions in order is really, really important. It's also very useful at that time when you're looking at the author handbook. It has a really good guide on the kind of artwork that we can use for your book. We do have minimum specifications for the quality, the resolution of the artwork, and there's a really good guide there. But you can also talk about this with your project editor when your project editor gets in touch. If you have some artwork, you're not quite sure of the quality of it, it's not your sort of area of expertise, you can send it to us. We can have a quick look and we can check if we think it's usable or not. So we're kind of really there to answer those kind of questions.